Hello, replay viewer. Thank you for joining. I am Ami, broadcasting from Far East Japan. Here is the Wellness Wisdom Wednesday. Yes, the Wellness Wisdom Wednesday. Sharing about the way to identify non-physical aspect as an energy using Japanese word as a tool, sharing some cultural wisdom that noticing these non-physical aspect of everyday life as an energy using the word. So once you become aware of it, identifying with the word, then it will help to become more aware of how you can use this invisible aspect of everyday life for your conscious creation. So my wish is to help you get some new ideas through way of people of Japan identifying in everyday life. So let me situate it a little bit. Okay, so here I want to have it a little bit closer and maybe a little hair bent. Excuse me. Okay, so I know it might take a little longer to get people notifying it. So here is the word energy. Qi, pronounced as qi, or qi if you're familiar with the Chinese modality. It's basically the same character but different pronunciation as tomato. That's the same thing. And so when you pronounce as an a qi, as Reiki, or Kiai, then that's reflecting the Japanese modality. And if you pronounce as a Qi, as Qigong, Tai Chi, that's a Chinese modality. So that's how you can identify the origin of what you are connecting, the martial art or some way of healing modality. But in community who speaks in Japanese uses this character energy word combining with other word to make a meaning, something to relate to energy word a lot. So that makes Chinese people confused. It's like, how come people in Japan uses this energy word so often? And not too many Chinese word combining this particular energy. So that is uniqueness of the islander people in Japan, that way they identify the energy and to use it, even if it's invisible, visible of course, for communicating, or the word command our behavior, and without the word we are unable to compose the thought, unable to think about it, to act on, to communicate. So the many aspects that when we talk about it, and there is always so many relating to this energy as a visible aspect. So and that is related to the individual local energetic field, and also the field energy of oneness and the universe, since everything is made of energy. To start with, I would like to choose the energy related word, particularly related to the local personal personally manageable element. Some of them are like the heaven's energy as the weather, and it's quite challenging to direct that field energy with the individual, one person's local intention and energy. We need more collective, larger magnitude of the energy to reflect in that type of field energy. So it's wise to start with something that we can direct using your personal power, our individual power, to relate and change the way to combine the energy for our own bettering. And since the energy moves where attention is given, so your energy, you are the attention giver, so then you can choose to move the energy consciously. However, the consciousness is only a 5% of a human operation. Mostly we operate in subconscious and conscious. And that is great because everything we need to pay attention each things, and then we accomplish so little each day. The same thing started from 0 and then 1, and so the autopilot, the body remembering the flow, or what we do when you open your eyes and get out the sleeping state and then go pee or to wash your hand or wash your mouth, whatever, that the flow that we doing, it's automatic. We are not thinking about, okay, open our eyes, pop, and then now we need to move your arms and push your body and get it up. So you know what I'm saying? So it's mostly being supported by this autopilot to make everything easier operation. It's similar. It's a good analogy. Metaphor is the smartphone. The unused app is always operating background, and then something happened and then it's moving, right? But not intentionally using it on the surface level, but the backyard, hi Caroline, is always moving. So that's the same thing that human conscious subconscious is, that autopilot is helping. However, when we want to challenge, when we want to change something to start new, or to end in the old pattern, invite in the new pattern, and then that challenges like when you want to stop smoking, for example, it's already in the flow, and psychologically that subconsciously operating that related to the nicotine or the way you're behaving and so forth. So, or eating habit, the pattern that we are eating, just choosing mostly, semi autopilot perhaps. So become conscious choice to choose for the new and discipline the new pattern. That's what we need to do, and that's what helpful to be conscious about the choice. And then that's the only 5%. So that's and then using the 5% to choose when we want to direct until it become natural part of our operation system. It's been said that 17 times to repeating consciously, and then it's easier to getting down to the subconscious autopilot. So that's the human system. And here is the energy word combining with absolutely we can choose using our personal power to how we want to relate or how we want to remove the way to adjust for better once we become aware of it. So the 7 words that I chose for sharing here, and let me pick the one for this week. All right. Ta. Oh, this word is Gen. It's the source. This character itself is the source. But Source, gen. And energy, source energy. Source energy. Genki. It's a new operation to hold in this card. Hope it works. Okay, so source energy, that's a core essence, our source. Basically, the location of the source energy, I suppose that's my perception when we say genki. Genki is the solar plexus, sense of self, healthy ego, power, the source coming up within us as an individual, as a person, as a human being. So when we in the Japanese community, the greeting, how you doing? What's up? It's we ask for how is your source energy. So genki, are you genki? Means like is your source energy is activating or like firing up? And then, yeah, it's so genki. The flow of energy, source energy is firing up. Means like a very, actively firing up, lots of energy coming out for everyday life at the moment. So it, it's a representation of excitement and good mood and good energy and reading and very productive and healthy. That's what the good genki, the state. So when we are sick, for example, physical sick, and then it's no genki or bad genki. So are you genki? And I was like, no, I'm sick. No, non-available genki. Source energy is not available. Means like a firing up, firing up center. Source energy is very low key. It's needing to become healthy, means like a natural sense of self, to the power to live life. So that's what the genki, source energy. So we all have source energy, and these source energy can be influenced by the physical health, mental health, emotional health, relational health. So it's many different type of effect to lose genki, low source energy, that broken heart, that's the emotional, psychological effect to have that low level of source energy. Or just simply a physical injury or illness, to having a body sensation called pain, ouch, and then that really bothers to get going with the natural available healthy ongoing genki energy. So that's what it is. And let's go check with each energy center from the first root chakra to the crown seventh energy center with Genki. Okay, so the root energy center, color red with Genki energy. Genki energy is healthy foundation. And the root chakra is about grounding, safety, survival, feeling belong to. And that's the foundation, the basics of our life. And in terms of relationship, is a connection with the Mother Earth, and also feeling being belong to, like as in a family, like feeling safe to being open as what you are, who you are. as a person, individual. And being part of a community, like community feeling, like, family member in the sense of family. So that's what the energy center with the Genki is, the healthy foundation. When that area is healthy, and then feel grounding, like secure feeling that help us to create, move, build. The foundation of life is Genki. So when we are low in this root chakra, the Genki, no Genki, it's something to do with relationship with a family member, or a relationship to a caregiver, mother figure. And then also the physical body is connected to something, the blood, bone structure, and also the feet. That's what the energy center of the root chakra. So if you feel that, checking that which influencing your Genki source energy, check in yourself, like, is this coming from a root chakra, first energy center? Is this a physical or emotional, relational, to which aspect? So you can scan what's happening in your world. And once you identify that your Genki is related to particular aspect, and then you can change the dynamic more practical way. So that's what healthy foundation for Genki, root chakra. And the second energy center is the healthy creation, color orange, healthy creation with Genki. The second chakra is one-on-one relationship, any kind, intimacy, partnership, and also to create, give birth to something, and also the money, relationship with money. So the Genki is influencing this area, and then you can enhance the way to change yourself instead of changing other partner or other aspect. That's wise to change which part you can change, being explore a new way connecting to create. And the physical body is the reproductive organs, and also for the lower back, pelvic area. That's what the energy center for the second Genki. So if you notice that you are losing Genki, low energy, from the lower back pain, for example, and that gives you some idea that you may want to check on the partnership relationship, or relationship with the money, finance. Sometimes that give us an alert that, hey, you're ready to move next level, even if we don't have any problem. But sometimes it's that we deserve ready for the new level. So that's what the sign you can use as identifying your Genki. So the third energy center, color yellow, solar plexus. It's the fire, sense of self, self-drive, desire to be responsible, to to confident ownership of the healthy ego. So that's what basically I believe, that Genki energy core essence is physically located around the stomach, solar plexus. Firing, it's the fire sign, the fired up energy, power, self-drive. And Genki is identity, healthy identity. This is what I am, who I am. This is what I desire, want, wishes. And this is what I'm good at. And this is I'm ready to be responsible for being useful for others. And, that self-drive and power to go for that, to fire it up and to align that, desire, self, the identity, like ownership of the identity. When that area is unhealthy, and then genki is kind of low energy, bad genki. Let's say that you lost the confidence for whatever the reasons are, and then losing genki, like, well, I have no genki. It's not just saying I'm depressed, or just identifying what is this coming from, and what's happening in my world. What is this reflecting to my genki? Is this from lack of having a confidence from the work or the new presentation? And then you may want to build more skill to train to boosting the confidence or the self-esteem, and then you may want to go back to the childhood trauma or experience that is someone in your family member was the self-esteem shredder that you have, your brothers, sisters, or cousins, or whomever that so just check in on that, and then face onto something that you can use now, even it's from the past, for the future. It's about bilocated is now. So identifying with the genki, with the third energy center, self-drive, that's what where you want to look for. And also with the physical, when you have an digestive tract, like a stomach, like I had last week, um, is causing the physical discomfort and losing influence in my genki. That's like a draining. My stomach is so upsetting physically, and then unable to do it. No energy, low genki. So, and then I may want to go back to what's happening. Did I eat something bad, or my body is reflecting something came to my awareness, or challenges, or self-esteem, or sense of self. So that's what we can use as an assign to enhance, choose for better in, to enhance the genki. And going to the fourth energy center with the genki. The fourth energy center is the heart chakra, color green. It's one love, unconditional love, forgiveness, and caring, nurturing. That's the energy center of the heart chakra, fourth energy center. With genki is healthy emotional sharing, healthy emotional sharing, sharing love and caring and forgiving. Something happened and it's hard to forgive or to apologize. And these are mostly connected to the feeling emotionally charged relatedness. So when it's healthy, then heart is open and willing to share, care, give, receive in oneness. And forgiving, it's connected to the third energy center, sense of self, secure, open, confident, self-esteem in balance, and then open up the heart. So you may want to check in on that your genki is charged up. That's fine, healthy, open, caring, nurturing, giving, receiving. But somehow noticing that it's like closing. Well, I'm okay just to be myself, to not to connect and share, give and receive. That's fine at the moment. Well, sometimes we go all there to just being self and recomposing and realigning to self, especially for right after experiencing the heavy heart, grief need to be processed. The heart chakra is a broken heart, you know So we must process by ourselves in our own unique way. And if someone overly giving the caring, nurturing, then maybe I need a space to process, or maybe we need to give that person a space to process their own way, the heart grieving. That's and that's low genki means that maybe you need a time, take a time out to grieve and finding a way to rejuvenate. It's not good or bad. It's just needing your attention to care self first. So emotional sharing. That's uh that's what it is. And this heart chakra, I really want to talk about it today. It's timely that we've been working on the lower chakra since the new moon and solar eclipse and so forth. And then I noted today, this day, that coming up to the heart chakra, like forgiving, oneness, and caring, nurturing, giving, and receiving. So I may want to talk about this later. And the fifth energy center with Genki, source energy of yourself with the throat chakra. It's about to express authentically your heart, your mind, clear communication. And hi, Aiden. And then also the neck, shoulders, and thyroid is the physical body area. And with Genki, is the source energy connected to the fifth energy center is the healthy expression. Healthy expression means like openly, clearly, um, expressing what you need to express to the world around you. Presentation or communication, connecting to the person or the people or your community or your customer or your client or your family member. This is really like enhancing your quality of life living. I'm telling you. Yeah, good to see you too, Aiden. And if the Genki low, because it's like something, it's also reflecting to your teeth and gums too. The jaws is tight, and it's hard to express in something that you need to say, but I don't know what to say about it. Well, need a courage to express. It's close to the heart of the matter and really required some boost of encouragement. It's a sensitive matter. It's the nature of our core being protected. So the more revealing to open up the core to directly expressing is the more needing the safe space and then secure self that no matter what, reminding ourselves no matter what we need to express, what being embodied by others is their business, like their karma, right? So the gap between what we need to say and to communicate, that's the skill that we can enhance. So when you notice in some area, jaw, neck, thyroid is alerting something like, hey, you need to enhance in the Genki to expressing yourself and go get some class to expressing emotions or logical delivery of your true voice. That's something that I teach actually. But because I've been having so much issue on this throat chakra, I got the neck problem and shoulder always heavy, because intuitively noticing what the other person is sensing, it's like so hard to express in own, the oneness thinking about. But anyhow, so that can be enhancing, and believe me, it really enhancing, especially for me, was enhancing for a close relationship, the friendship. No need to lose an important friend. It was like a da 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 da, emotionally just expressing is gonna lose somehow the friendship. It's precious, but we need to express in it with understanding and that deepening the friendship, and then also no need to lose these important people around us, that really enhance the quality. So that's something I would like to share, creating some opportunity, really though. And third eye, the next energy center is the sixth energy center, color indigo. Indigo with Genki. Genki. Source energy, your source energy with the third eye. It's the perception, intuition, intellect, logic, brain, processing, non-physical area. Is the healthy perception. Healthy perception. So even if we got the same information, and your way of perceiving and my way of perceiving is different, most likely, because the perception is so unique to each one of us. Some mutual, but some different. So we never know what the other person is perceiving, right? And then act out based on the perception, and then we learn that some other way to perceiving this information that we bump into in the same the time, but in a different context. So healthy perception is when we perceive something and then you are Genki, the self-centered energy, low energy influencing, perhaps the way you perceive the information deserving attention. It's like the perception based on your belief system. A, B, C happen, then the negative must be following. These energetic pattern that you developed since the childhood and become a belief, and then it's now the system to filter in your perception, perceiving information. So listening someone's responding to the same information, it was like sometimes I become, wow, what a negative way to digesting this information. The information is just about this, but the way perceiving taking is absolutely different. And then vice versa, that I also been mentioned to my good friend, like, hey, you don't need to digest like that. It just she or he just saying this way. This could be this too. This could be that too. And it's like and then I learned the way I perceive in my context. It's just a limited possibility. So when you feel that bump into some information, and so it's like a feeling heavy or low. What I heard is really depressing, means like a lower in energy and low genki. And then perhaps that asking your friend, like a reliable friend, to get that person, get his or her opinion about what do you see from this, and then getting some new idea besides your own way of perceiving might be helpful, not to bring it into always follow into the pattern that is give you a heavy effect on this genki. It's the brain, the way you think, and it's invisible. It's quite difficult because we only know what we think, because unable to speak each single thing. So yeah, so notice it and then examine it. And if you are so intuitive and then just ahead of time of the persons, and then it's perceiving, and it's hey, it's just being own body, and then noticing what is important for me now, and then only to digest that. Because unless otherwise, we go everywhere, going to the future, going to the past. That's the energy center of our third eye. If you're so open and actively like getting the information. It's like at the end of the day, where am I? Who am I? Who's in me? So it's be sure to be in own body and one person per body. That's ideal. You creating the better future, not the prisoner from the past. And then here's the power to choose. And then energize. That's the healthy Genki for perception. So that's one way to digest. And seventh energy center. It's the consciousness, divine energy center, color purple, the life purpose. With the Genki is divine union, whatever that means. Divine union, that we are part of infinite love and light, but in this body has an earthy life and mature in and becoming drier in and processing, the earthy natural way of growing, but being part of the infinite universe. So that divine connection, that's something larger than what we are in the individual, is connecting with the conscious awareness, is connecting to Genki source energy. So when you feel low energy, no Genki, or weakening the Genki, and something losing the meaning of life, all goals accomplished, what I wanted to have in this list, or I got that, so what now? Getting into the new chapter, and it's like, well, so what's next? It's like sort of like in betweenness and lost in the path to the yellow brick road. Feels like Emerald City is already behind. Where am I going to? Do you know where you're going to next? So, and the divine, something that we like to expand bird's eye or the other planet's eye to look at that life on Earth and being part. It's just like a zooming up from the universe and then coming to see a new perspective, like one with that. And then we may need to expand sometimes, especially when getting into the change, ending the chapter, getting into the new phase, that we all go there. And I myself personally easily get lost into the reach here, and then now what? And then this in between, in case of me, is like so long in the linear time. So it's supposed to be a couple weeks or the 2 months, and then could be 2 years for me. It's like, it's depending on the phase. But yeah, that's what helpful to see the lives from large perspective, to revitalizing your local source energy, Genki, within you. So that's the healthy, active core energy, Genki. So how is your Genki today? So that's what sharing. And speaking of the heart chakra, that yeah, I noticed myself today, my Genki, each chakra, fourth energy center, heart chakra Genki was kind of low. Physically, I was very Genki, but the heart, somehow that third eye and the heart chakra with the lessons of forgiveness, the forgiveness and resistance and perception is deserving update, because I was cleaning up all the old writings, because too many notebooks, and I need to get rid of the update and get some essence and move on. That's what I started since the Mars is retrograding. And then and then I'm so grateful for that I kept all these detail of the particular emotion that I was experiencing in particular situation with the date. It's very helpful to have the linear time date, so then I can connect to the context and where I was at that point. So basically bring that past in here now, and then my heart chakra was still resisting for that forgiving, even the forgot about the details. Yeah, it's a good time to do so, I think. And to reminding that what was happening in detail, the emotional, and then I uh, actually no need to re experiencing it, but unfortunately, I did it. Oops, like, oh, re-experiencing the unwanted emotion again, revitalizing. It was like upsetting, like, oh, wow, gee, that was not a good choice. But it's too late. It's already like into the connected to the past, bringing it here. So I may need your healing for that later. And then the forgiveness, which was under my list to work on, and then notice that, well, am I ready to shift this nugget of that area, forgiveness, to get the lessons and move on? Then, and then realize that, wow, so the detail was that. And then I now understand what the way I reacted to that back then. But now, in that particular relatedness, I feel more detached to that situation. Of course, even I revitalizing the feeling with me again, but I could detach the space from the dynamic that I used to have with that situation. And then the choice is mine. Like, do I want to reconnect to that, or just let go and move on? Either way, that I like to contacting again for dissolving, and is this worth it? That kind of dialogue in, and I'm still unsure about it. What do I want to do? But I can meditate that, and then I feel good about that. Reconnecting sense of self, that wow, so I had that awareness back then. It's understandable that how come I been carrying a hard time digesting it. And then that's the good step for me now for today. The yeah, to and then I was willing to dissolve, and then all of a sudden synchronistically information popping up, and I was like, gee, okay, so now I understand where I am at. And then perhaps the circle energy will carry to shifting for transformative state. So yeah, I noticed that since the new moon, walking on the lower chakra and then bringing it up to the heart chakra, which is good. I mean, the processing, the living with the flow, and then digesting one by one. So that's what I wanted to share with my Genki. So, how's your Genki today? Yeah, the heart chakra. Would you like to pick the energy card for a healing, perhaps healing reminder? Please pick the number between 1 to 7. I would love to pick low. Yeah, low. 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Top. That's the kon ki root energy. Root energy is continuous dedication, being patient. And let me pick that aspect for that chakra and energy chakra. The balance with the indigo, third eye, perception, intuition, logics, with the balance, with the persistent energy, being patient. I see. So let me go scan your energy. Yeah, I mean that your intuitiveness perhaps needing the healing, that to the way that you've been connecting to the informations intuitively and processing it, maybe getting into the new way to use your gift, the way the operation system needing an update, upgrading, like a template upgrade. So then it seems like the balancing of the way you used to operate and then the new template is taking place to using it required some sort of like uncomfortable operational stage that could happen to any computer systems or cell phone, that if you got the new system updated and then it's quite challenging until you become familiar with that. It's nothing wrong with it, but just a new way to operate in it. So balancing out the new way and then your familiar way, and then being open to being patient with this energy, and then you're on the right path. I think that's what message and healing for now. I am sending healing for being open to update and yeah, and then get excited to be the new alignment once this frustrating kind of the phase is over, and then you're going to be more faster, comfortable with a new operational system to processing the information for self and for others. Thank you for allowing. And then I noted that the male got the heart, pink heart, and then particularly that loving heart related connection is really needing a patient. That's what I got. Thank you for allowing. So Mel, would you like to pick the healing reminder for this day? Yeah, yeah. You're welcome. Thank you for allowing. 8, actually 1 to 7, but that's okay. I'm gonna count 8 though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this the home, the book. Yeah, book of energy. Honki, home, book of energy. It continuous dedication, the sincere participation to your chosen goal. Commitment with the aspect and the chakra is the balance with the divine. Seventh energy center, life purpose, awareness, divine. I think this is very you. That's what I picked. And in a balanced way with honki, the serious, sincere dedication to your chosen life aligned purpose. So let me go scan your energy. That's what I am getting. So I know that you've been working on the chosen goals and creating and open and that. And then this actually for life connecting, divine sense of purpose aligning to your chosen path or the goal this time. So just reminding that it's not just okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm not gonna, whatever that reasons to excuse yourself to not to go through there is okay too, but seems like this is like connecting to your life purpose and what you're supposed to do in this lifetime. So but allow yourself balancing. If it becomes hard to get going as you chose to do, but being is more important. So doing part, the slow down a little bit if you feel hard, and then do I need to do this? Continue as the same effort and energy to put. Maybe you can get relaxed and balancing out to align and move forward. So that would be okay. As and give yourself a permission to slow down and to be on the path instead of doing on your path. I'm sending a healing and this is like lovely creation that I'm seeing on your path, and you deserve to balance it out and slow down if you need to. Uh, good. Thank you for allowing. Yes. So energy's been pretty shifting, and then this month November is obviously changing. I noticed the new energy. New energy. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for allowing. I'm so grateful for having you alive, lovely presence. Yay! You are helping me developing my work too, and I'm learning a lot from yeah, shifted. Yeah, does that you think? Yeah, I feel so too. It's it's more encouraging. It's more encouraging for me. I mean, over the weekend seems to be the cue we are getting as an information to work on, to transform for the next 3 months to 6. So the Mars went into retrograde. So supposed to be slowing down, and it's good to review, to revitalize, relearning, to reconnecting. So that's the universal support flow, and use it wisely for our intentional creation. So that's one of the reasons that I started the review and creating the space for the next year. Yeah. And then I feel like sort of like a stagnant energy in my creation. Mm. So the stagnant, when it comes to stagnant, and um also, mm. Oh, good, good. So I was frequently visiting a shrine for getting blessings because the energy was so surprising, and then I wanted to do whatever that I could do to change and shift my perspective. So yeah, that's great. I'm so grateful for that. If it's helping that, and Instagram live to share some shrine near me, and then a local friend just popped up and then asking for gold. So it's a flow that sensing, and yeah, feeding the sort of my personal development reaching into the stagnant and supposed to change a couple of years ago, but because of the pandemic and postponing, and the postponing is kind of started to create the shape. So I really want to use that stagnant to transform, to create the change. So that's what I am intending, and using this cycle, the eclipse energy from ending this year and then towards for the next year. So, and then went into the write in the morning pages, like so many notebooks that I need to go dig in. Yeah, good sign. Yes, yes. And then creating some space and, literally like picking up the clothes to donate and to excite me. One of these organizing specialists from Japan, I forgot her name, Konmari, her book for organizing closet, organizing house journals, yeah, with the spiritual connecting is it's really making sense. It's about to create the space and let go of the old self because we are so much changed and changing, and something remaining the same, or maybe it creates more value here and towards the future, but most of that is becoming, it's no longer fitting. Just like when we were kid, that shoe no longer fit the size. The physical growth is also obvious, but the more value, like a sentimental value attached to it, that's that. And what I noticed is that when we are in a challenging situation, like let's say like a crisis situation, exactly, evolving crisis situation, and then insecure emotionally, financially, physically, and then we tend to hold on to, like a grip is tight, and then grabbing all that, and your purse is full of item carrying everywhere because that make us feel secure. So when we are secure about in a relationship, open, work and family, it's very secure about your physical health, emotional health, and then that less item to be surrounded because we are secure. So that's the survival, the human behavior that you can notice. So noticing the where you are at the moment, and then be gentle to yourself, like when we are in the challenging situation and insecure about, and then getting rid of all this stuff, and it's like really putting more fire oil into the fire, insecure, like creating the crisis, more momentum. So just being gentle to notice, it's asking, how secure you are right now and how ready to let go of, but connecting one by one, and then what sparks your spirit, excite you. That's what something we want to pack into the future journey, packing for the new, luggage to take with us. And something that is a valuable item, memorable attached to. And what do I want, to carry with it? So much memory attached to. Um, but the item is quite challenging, maybe to photo then digitalize. Maybe we want a creative, but that's what I need to do periodically when we are school, and then when get into the new chapter, new school, and then graduate and then change, it's more easier. But being an adult, becoming an adult, and building, unless you ending something like relationship or the place to live or relocation, and that is the opportunity to change it. But unless otherwise, we want to initiate consciously, intentionally, using whatever the flow, the energy to allow us to, unless otherwise it just piles, it piles, creating the space. And then once we create the space, then universe is so efficient that and knowing where we are heading, what we are wanting, more better, and then universe just filling that void. That's what I noted. But giving the space, letting go is the hardest part. Like, ah, ah, the more space we give it. So that's one of the reasons that the crisis is the most easiest point to transform completely. It's it's showing up as a disaster, as an tsunami, for example, earthquake or fire, these emergency, like evacuation system, like a life-threatening situation. But the other side of the coin is the perfect opportunity to rebirth. That in California, when I was living, that the wildfire is taking place almost every year. That Santa Ana wind comes in, and then the mountain is got fire bigger and bigger lately. That's another issue, but that's part of nature, right? And then all the pine trees and all these mountains are burned, but some species, depending on the fire, under the ashes, it comes the new life. And that's the cycle of that. And human being living it in that area is their choice living in there. But knowing that being part of the natural process, it's the healthy. How we want to use that healthy change, even it feels disaster, but it could be a great opportunity to rebirth. So the crisis management, yeah. And sometimes unconsciously, subconsciously, we are creating that kind of crisis situation. Consciously, we are avoiding it, but subconscious, because when we need really change and consciously protecting, it's very difficult to change the complete rebirth kind of. But looking back the life's major change, I think, and being an adult, and there must be at least once that the major change of life was on our path, being as an adult, I think. So, all right. Well, thank you for sharing your lovely presence in life, and let us connect our energy before closing here as usual. So synchronize our breath, conscious breath, 3 times as usual, in taking all the air from the nose and connecting each part of us consciously, thought, feeling, sense of self here and now, one with self as a mindfulness, 0 point alignment. And then the second one, to let go all the emotions, event, information no longer helping or bettering. Just let go, consciously saying out. And then the last one, to connect and support one another's doing the letting go, invite in the new energy, creating space. So then we can be more open to the ideal energy to take place. So let's do that. Ready? Let us take a long, deep breath, counting 3, 1 now, 2, 3. The second time, saying out, and then let all out from your beingness. Intaking new air from the nose now. the last one. Inhaling all this fresh new energy that supporting your new creation, and taking all the new, and then connect, co-creating, feel the energy of oneness and support one another's intentional creation, letting go. Ready? Let's go. Good energy. Thank you for joining and co-creating. Feel the energy of oneness. You have a wonderful night, evening, day. Thank you for allowing. And I see you when I see you. Perhaps the weekend or at least next Monday. Thank you, Mel and Caroline. Bye.